Another story that has sent shock waves across global markets. US President Donald Trump has expanded his tariff regime, this time targeting pharmaceuticals, heavy trucks and furniture. The most dramatic move, you ask? 100% duty on patented drugs that are not being produced in the United States. It's a bold move on Trump's part. It's a bold move in his trade strategy. But what are the implications really for drug makers and the global supply chain overall? Let's break it down for you. Starting October 1, the White House says it will impose a 100% tariff on any branded or patented pharmaceutical product unless the company is building a manufacturing plant in America. Trump announced the move on social media on Thursday and said that the companies already constructing facilities in America will not face the levy. It's not just pharma. Imported heavy trucks will also be hit with a 25% duty. Kitchen cabinets and bathroom vanities with a 50% charge. And upholstered furniture imports will face a 30% tax. Experts say the new tariffs could raise the US average tariff rate by up to 3.3 percentage points, though exemptions for companies building in the United States may soften the impact. Singapore and Switzerland, in particular, are exposed to the move. Where does US import pharma products come from? From Ireland, Switzerland, Germany, India. Other countries from which the US imported these products, including Italy, Denmark, and the United Kingdom. And so, following Trump's announcement, pharma companies across Asia and Europe saw a drop in their share prices. Major drug makers reacted immediately. Swiss companies, Lonza, Novartis, were down about 1.2% in early trading on Friday. Shares in German drug makers, meanwhile, also fell by 1.1% and 1.5% as an example. In India, the main pharmaceutical index slid by 2%, as all 20 listed drug makers fell in price, despite the initial shock reflected in the share prices. Experts are saying that Indian companies should not suffer overly from the tariffs, as some that supply products to the US are already based there and will therefore be exempt. And as for why Trump is imposing these tariffs, he has not specified his reasons for increasing the tariffs on the branded pharmaceutical products. But the latest tariffs are part of a broader pattern here. Since taking office, he has used his executive powers to impose levies on imported automobiles, steel, copper, aluminum, and has also argued that these steps protect national security and the American industry. For pharmaceutical giants, meanwhile, the stakes are as high as they could be. Many of the world's top-selling drugs are still produced overseas. For example, Ozempic, relying on ingredients made in Denmark. Eli Lilly's drug, starting production in Ireland. Johnson & Johnson's Stelara is manufactured in Switzerland, as an example. Now, unless these companies can prove that they are building US facilities, the new tariffs could instantly double import costs, potentially passing the higher prices on to the consumers. Some companies, however, are ahead of the curve. Novo Nordisk, for example, is constructing a 1.4 million square foot plant in North Carolina. Eli Lilly has announced 4 new US manufacturing sites this year. Trump's administration is relying on Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act, which allows tariffs on imports deemed a national security threat, bypassing the Congress. And this approach has already been applied to critical goods, including semiconductors, medical devices, industrial machinery. Analysts are saying that the impact on drug prices may be limited for now, as most major companies already have or are investing in US production. But the uncertainty remains for drugs still largely produced overseas, including some treatments for rare diseases. And experts are already saying that Trump is never going to be done with tariffs, and market watchers noting that the president's strategy combines trade pressure with a strong push for domestic manufacturing, raising both political and economic stakes. Trump is using tariffs not only to influence trade, but also to shape where and how essential goods are actually made. For patients, manufacturers, investors, the message is clear: prepare for turbulence in the months ahead. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.